everybody, not every rookie breaks in like Fred Lynn, Maurice. You probably don't remember Fred Lynn breaking in 1975. Fred Lynn won the American League Rookie of the Year and the American League Most Valuable Player Award in the same year, like Ichiro did years later. Some guys just make a debut that catches your eye like none other. Kind of like Ryan Bauer. Rotogrinders.com. You've been telling him about 2 Raw, right? On, what is that, his Xbox Live handle? Is that what that is?
Xbox Live handle, man.
2 Raw. 2 Raw. Is that the number 2 or is that TOO?
Just T-O.
T-O. 2 Raw. All right. But you would say, let's get this guy on. Let's get this guy on. I said, all right, let's give him a shot. He came on last week and he knocked it out of the park. Ryan Bauer is back with us, Runnin With MJD. You're pretty proud of yourself, Ryan, I think, this week, aren't you?
Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, but you never let the highs get too high and the lows too low. You keep a level head.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
I respect this guy, right? I respect because you came out with a couple of guys that we weren't looking at for DFS last week, particularly Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger, and they crushed it. For us. You like Martavis Bryant, he got it done. You like Derek Decker, he got it done. You like Jordan Reed, he got it done. Thomas Rawls, TJ Yeldon, not as good, but I mean, overall, you're not going to hit 100% of these guys. I thought you had a phenomenal debut. So kudos to you, and quit trying to be Mr. Humble. All right.
Well, appreciate that.
All right, brother. Maurice, let's jump in here with some picks. Let's start with the quarterback position. You absolutely destroyed it last week with Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger. What quarterback or quarterbacks are you eyeing in Week 13?
Okay, so this week we're looking to spend up a little bit. I'm in love with Cam Newton this week. I mean, he averages second most points in FanDuel for a quarterback. And he has a total of 27 TDs this year. I mean, that's almost 3 a game. And the Saints are the worst in the NFL defending the pass. And Vegas has the over-under set at 49. I think that's the highest this week, or maybe a half point behind the Patriots and the Eagles. So he's my spend up this week if you want to get a top-tier premium quarterback.
All right, give me a value play at quarterback, because we can all go to the top of the board if we're going to be throwing somebody else's money around. Who do you like to save a little cash on?
Okay, this guy's been a little off the last few weeks, but I think he's got a phenomenal matchup this week, and it's Matt Ryan. Last matchup against the Bucs, threw for 397 yards, 2 touchdowns. He actually averages 300 yards on the road, and the Bucs are giving up 2 passing touchdowns a game this year. And he's got a great price on FanDuel at $7,400. His price has really been dropped. I think it's the lowest this year, and he's in a great spot. And the Bucs are really good against the run. I think they're averaging less than 3 points a game, or 3 yards a carry. So I think it's a throwing game.
See, Maurice, this is what I'm talking about here. Everyone's so sick of Matt Ryan right now, right? They're sick of him. And he's like, no. Forget what he's coming to pass. We're only concerned with this week. So, all right, I got Cam and Matt Ryan. Maurice, jump in there. Where do you want to take this?
Well, let's go to the running backs. We struggled last week, Raw, so let's talk about it, Ryan. Where are we going with the running backs this week?
So this week, I'm looking at none other than D'Angelo Williams. I mean, Indy's giving up over 20 points this week to running backs. They've given up 8 touchdowns, and he has 3 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, and no one else in the backfield touches that ball. So he's getting a heavy workload. They're favorites, so they really should be running the ball, and he got a touchdown last week, and I see him, catching balls out of the backfield and putting up a big game.
All right, everybody's on David Johnson this week. Like at FanDuel, he's $5,900. Bruce Arians is talking about him getting 25 carries a game. How high are you on David Johnson? And let's say if you're a kind of guy who puts in 10 lineups in DFS, how many lineups should David Johnson be in this week?
So David Johnson is going to be extremely high on this week. I mean, we all know that CJ 2K had 4 weeks of over 18 carries, so he's going to get the workload. They're big time favorites, but he's going to be in a lot of lineups. I think. I mean, probably 5 out of 10, because that gives you the ability to pay up. And I think this is a week where you don't really want to mess around at tight end, because there's some great matchups in the upper echelon tight end field. So I think he probably had about 50% of my lineups. And St. Louis got gashed at home by a running back similar to him, a really versatile guy in Jeremy Langford.
Let me just get your thoughts on Gurley. I don't think he's a good DFS play at this point because of the price, right, compared to his production. But just what do you think is going to happen with Gurley in terms of productivity over the next several weeks?
Yeah, Gurley's really been hit or miss. I mean, they can stack the box. They can go and put 8 guys, 9 guys in the box. I mean, somehow Maurice Jones-Drew ran all over the place with 8, 9 guys in the box. But Gurley this year just isn't getting it done.
All right, Maurice, go ahead.
Ryan, you were talking about some high upper echelon tight ends. Who are you speaking of in that? I mean, for me, a guy that doesn't play the daily fantasy, I was looking at Scott Chandler from the Patriots. What do you think about him?
So Scott Chandler's going to be really, really high owned this week. I mean, I think you play him in cash games, and that's really about it. Just because he's going to be so high owned, you don't want to miss out if he has a good game. But we don't really know how Bill Belichick's going to do. This guy, may throw to him one time during the game. He goes back and forth from different players. He has a new scheme every single game. So just because he had, I think, maybe 11 targets with the last game with Gronk going out, doesn't mean he'll have any more than 5. But if you do want to spend around that price, at $5,200, I know on FanDuel for him, I got a couple other guys right around that price that you can kind of differentiate yourself from. So one of the guys I like is Vance McDonald for the 49ers. Blaine Gabbert's taking over QB, has back-to-back 60-yard games and a touchdown in both of those games. And they're scheduled to really kind of game flow be behind against the Bears on the road.
All right, Vance McDonald, you said you had a couple in that price range. Give me another guy that you like.
And the other guy would be Benjamin Watson. Drew Brees is going to have to throw. They're going to have to throw a lot. No Willie Snead, didn't practice today, so as I said last week, no Friday practice. Don't count on him to play. And the Panthers aren't great against the tight end. They're giving up over 5 receptions a game, and Brees played much better at home. I mean, his last 2 home games, he had 10 touchdowns against the Giants and a total of 10 touchdowns against the Giants, I think, the Titans. So, and he's a big-time red zone target, and Coach is going to be smothered by Josh Norman this week.
All right, I like that. Let's turn to the wide receiver position here. We've looked at quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends so far. At wide receiver, seems like a week to pay up for some of the more expensive guys like Odell Beckham Jr. with Darrelle Revis out. Are you interested in the high-end guys this week? And in addition to them, give us somebody of value that we can look to get in our lineup as well. Okay, well, with the Matt Ryan play, I love Julio Jones. 162 yards, touchdown last meeting. Bucs are ranked, like I said earlier, top half in the league against the run. So they're really going to have to pass the ball. So I love Julio Jones. He's actually cheaper, a couple $100 cheaper than OBJ. And then the other guy I love is Antonio Brown. We're gonna do a pivot here from Martavius Bryant and go back to Antonio Brown. He's averaging over 100 yards a game, even with the game he got shut down last week. 11 targets, and he should avoid Vontae Davis a good amount because he lines up in the slot so much. And I could see Vontae on Martavius Bryant a lot this week. And going against the grain, you can look at Devontae Parker with the Matthews injury. Parker is now a starting wide receiver. Last week, 10 targets, 4 receptions, 80 yards. And as you know, you can pass on the Ravens this year. They're giving the 4th most fancy points to wide receivers on the year. And if you want to look at another guy, a little bit more expensive than Devontae Parker, let's go to Anquan Bolden. I mean, as a Jazz fan, I can't believe I keep giving these guys out with Blaine Gabbert at the helm, but he's hit 90 yards and 5 receptions 4 out of his last 5 games. Blaine Gabbert looks like a good quarterback, and I'll say it again, game flow suggests 49ers will be playing catch-up. Stop it.
Well, tell me this one. What about Buck Allen? We saw what he did on Monday night. What are you thinking about Buck Allen?
So Buck Allen is actually on the plays this week. The Dolphins are giving up 108 yards per game and 6 receptions to running backs. And, that's the receptions is great, but we like touchdowns, and Buck Allen's going to get the heavy workload. He's going to get all the goal line work with them having an injury to their running back this year. So I love Buck Allen. And another running back is Jonathan Stewart. 20 carries, 7 straight games, big-time favorite. Game flows in his favor, so I see him running late and running often this week.
Ryan Bauer, rotogrinders.com. He blogs his Bauer Power Plays there. He also tweets them out at Bauer Power Plays. Bauer spelled Bauer. All right, Ryan, let me recap who you've given us today, and then if you want to throw one more name into the pile, if we've overlooked somebody at any position, that's up to you. But at quarterback, you love paying up for Cam, but you also gave us Matt Ryan this week. At running back, you like D'Angelo Williams near the top of the board, Buck Allen, Jonathan Stewart, and you said David Johnson in about 50% of your lineups just because of the value price. And wide receiver, you gave us Julio and Antonio Brown on the top end, Devontae Parker and Bolden as value plays, and then your value tight end plays are Vance McDonald and Ben Watson this week. Any other one at any position that stands out that you want to mention?
Yeah, so we'll go back to the running back a little bit. LaShawn McCoy, guy's been on tear the last 4 or 5 weeks. 18 FanDuel points over that in the last 2 weeks. It looks like Carlos Williams is going to be missing the game. So that's a heavy workload, another back that catches balls out of the backfield. Then we'll go to the wide receiver. I'll give you guys I'll give you 2 mid-tier plays. I love Allen Robinson, over 100 yards against the Titans last week. He's Blake's favorite target, favorite red zone. Favorite red zone target.
Right.
And, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bortles throw 35 times this game, maybe even over that. With Titans, the Titans are sneaky good against the run. And a little stat for you, 96% of Jacksonville's touchdowns have been passing. So I look at Robinson score again. And, we're going to go right back to Eric Decker. I mean, his definition of consistency, I think everyone's on Marshall this week. Give me Decker for the cheaper price. They're only, in their points per game, FanDuel-wise, it's only 2-point difference. And Eric Decker's going to avoid Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie and Prince Amukamara a lot because he's going to line up in the slot this week. So I'll take Eric Decker. And, the tight end, I'm stacking Cam with Olsen. And you always target Raiders for tight ends. So I love Travis Kelce. And we haven't even touched on the defenses. I'll give you guys a sneaky good defense this week, and it's the Washington Redskins. They've scored double-digit fantasy points 5 times this year. Give me a great defense at home on what should be a cold Monday night against Matt Castle.
I've already got Washington in about half my FanDuel lineups this week, so I agree with you on that. All right, some late additions. A-Rob in Jacksonville, Eric Decker, and the Washington defense along with LaShawn McCoy. We got a stack of them, and we will track them, Ryan, but you got a little goodwill built up with us after last week. Very impressive debut. The Bauer Power Plays. Check them out at rotogrinders.com, and also follow Ryan on Twitter at BauerPowerPlays, B-A-U-E-R, Power Plays, and from the sounds of it, probably you can catch him next Friday right here on Runnin With MJD as well. Ryan, have a great week, man. We appreciate it. Good luck to the Power Plays, and we'll talk to you in Week 14.
Hey, thanks again, guys. I hope to speak to you soon, and both of you guys have a great weekend.
All right, there he goes. And my man was out tweeting his Power Plays all week after he hit them all. MJD wants to come in all humble-like. And
you got to do, man. You got to sell it.
You do need to sell it. Good for him, man. He really